Hello, dear students of BSc 6th semester, JSS College Gokak. I am Professor Kauzalgi giving you a talk on the topic amino acids, peptides, and proteins. Proteins are very important compounds. They are the complex nitrogenous organic compounds which on hydrolysis yield means give only alpha amino acids, which means that proteins are made up of only alpha amino acids. That is, complete hydrolysis of proteins give only alpha amino acids. These compounds, that is proteins, are important components of food along with carbohydrates and lipids, minerals, etc. So, life is possible without carbohydrate, without lipid, without minerals. But remember, life is not possible without proteins. So that is why they are called as proteins. Means it's a Greek term. In Greek, proteos meaning top priority. That is important compounds. So life to exist, these compounds are must. Therefore, later on, proteosis was reduced to the term proteins. Means they are very important compounds without which life is not possible. Yes, now we came to know that these are the biopolymers. Proteins are often called as biopolymers. They are of very high molecular weight. They are called polymers because the monomers present are alpha amino acids. The proteins present in the nature, they are made of 20 alpha amino acids. These proteins are mainly found in the nature in cereals, that is dicotyledons, meat, fish, eggs, milk, etc. So they are widely distributed in the nature. Now let us see the components of proteins. Means let us see what are amino acids. As the name itself suggests that they are compounds containing amino group and acid group, that is carboxyl group. So now let us look at the general structure of amino acids. Now let us look at the structure given here. It is the general structure of the alpha amino acid, that is amino acid. It is containing NH2 group and COH. R group, that is called as side chain, is attached to the carbon. Now the carbon holding amino group, that is amino group is connected to the carbon. This carbon is called as alpha carbon because with respect to carboxyl group, the carbon is in the alpha position, and to this alpha position carbon amino group is attached. Therefore, they are called as alpha amino acids. Means amino group is connected to alpha carbon. Now, this side chain is different in different amino acids. So, rest of the structure, that is amino group and then carboxyl group, they remain same in all the amino acids. So, the amino acids differ only in the structure of this side chain R. When R is equal to H, that is hydrogen, the amino acid becomes simplest amino acid, that is glycine, and glycine has the formula NH2 CH2 COH. This is simplest alpha amino acid. And when R is equal to CH3, the amino acid becomes alanine. Abbreviation for alanine is ALA, means alanine. The abbreviation for glycine is GLY. Abbreviation means short forms. When R is equal to CH2OH, the amino acid is serine, SERINE, serine. And when R is equal to CH2SH, the amino acid is cysteine. Like this, there are still many amino acids. So, all the amino acids, they change only in the structure of this side chain. Now, there are amino acids which contain only one amino group and one carboxyl group. Those amino acids which contain only one amino group and only one carboxyl group, they are called as neutral amino acids, because one is acidic group and the other one is basic group. And there are amino acids which contain two carboxyl groups and only one amino group. So, such amino acids containing two acidic groups, that is two carboxyl groups and only one basic group, that is NH2 group, they are called as acidic amino acids. For acidic amino acids, the best example is aspartic acid. Now, let me show you the structure of the acidic amino acid. Yes, now the structure is acidic amino acid structure. So, this is aspartic acid. It contains two carboxyl groups, one here, other one here, and only one amino group. So, this is aspartic acid. Now, there are other amino acids which contain two amino group and only one carboxyl group. The best example is lysine. Now, let us look at the structure of the lysine. So, this is lysine, Lysine. So, look at the structure. This contains one amino group here and another amino group in the side chain. In the main chain there is one amino group and in the side chain there is another amino group. So, it contains two basic groups and only one acidic group, carboxyl group. Therefore, this amino acid is called as basic amino acid. It contains two basic groups. Therefore, overall properties are basic. So, now we came to know that amino acids are neutral amino acids, acidic amino acids and basic amino acids. Now let us see how these amino acids they give proteins. Means these amino acids combine first to give a compound called as peptides, and these peptides further give the giant molecules of high molecular weight called proteins. Now, to form proteins, alpha amino acids combine each other. Now, let us see the reaction between amino acids. Now, let us look at the reaction now. So, now it is this reaction I am marking here, that there are two amino acids. Now, here this is one amino acid. The carboxyl group of this amino acid combines with amino group of the second amino acid to give a compound called as peptide. Here is the peptide formation, that is, it is NH2 CHR CONH CHR COH. This is the compound formed by the reaction between those two amino acids. The new compound formed is called as peptide, and it is called dipeptide because two amino acids are involved in the formation of this compound. So, now this is one amino acid residue and this is another amino acid residue. They are joined by the bond called peptide bond, or it is called as peptide linkage. So, this is called cementing material. The monomers amino acid, they are joined by the cementing material called peptide linkage or peptide bond. So, a dipeptide contains one peptide bond. This peptide bond sometimes called as amide bond or amide linkage. Similarly, if there are three amino acids combining, they give a peptide called as tripeptide. Tri meaning three, it represents amino acids. Three amino acids react to give a compound called as tripeptide, and a tripeptide contains two peptide linkages. Let us see now. Well, here is the structure of tripeptide. Now, let us look at this structure. It is tripeptide. So, tripeptide contains three amino acids. GLY stands for glycine, ALA stands for alanine, another glycine. It is a tripeptide formed by three amino acid residues. One is glycine, second one is alanine, and third one is again glycine. So, tripeptide contains two peptide linkages, one here, other one here. So, like this, during formation of the polypeptide, poly meaning many amino acids unite forming a peptide called as polypeptide. So, remember, polypeptide, if it is made of 100 amino acids, polypeptide, if it is made of 100 amino acids, the number of the peptide linkages are 100 minus 1. So, there are 99 peptide linkages in a polypeptide which is made of 100 alpha amino acids. Means, if n is the number of alpha amino acids involved in the formation of any polypeptide chain, the number of peptide linkages will be n minus 1. And now we are very near to formation of proteins. That is, polypeptide means it can be seen as protein only. So now we shall see when we have to call polypeptide as protein. Now I have already told you that proteins are the naturally occurring high molecular weight complex nitrogenous organic compounds which give only alpha amino acids on hydrolysis. So, the molecular weight of proteins ranges from 10,000 units to several lakh units. They are very high molecular weight compounds. They are called as gigantic molecules. They are called biopolymers. So, now the protein means it is a polypeptide. If peptide molecular weight is more than 10,000 units, if a peptide is having molecular mass, molecular weight more than 10,000 units, it is called as protein molecule. And if the peptide molecular weight is less than 10,000 units, then that peptide is simply called as polypeptide. So, now I want to make a statement that all proteins are polypeptides. What is the statement? All proteins are polypeptides, but all polypeptides are not proteins, because it is based on the difference between polypeptide and a protein is based on merely molecular weight. If the molecular weight of the peptide is less than 10,000 unit, it is simply called as polypeptide. And if the peptide molecular weight is more than 10,000 unit to several lakh units, it is called as protein. So now it's very clear for we people what are amino acids, why they are called as alpha amino acids, and what are peptides, what are proteins. We came to know the relation between amino acids, peptides and proteins. Again, we shall see. Well, now we shall see this structure of polypeptide. This is structure of the polypeptide, where large number of amino acids are involved here. So, it is NH2, CHR, CONH, CHR, again CONH. CONH linkages, they are peptide linkages. So, we are observing there are many peptide linkages. So, more is the number of amino acids, more is the number of peptide linkages. And in a polypeptide chain or in protein molecule, this end is now containing amino group, left side. So, left side end is containing amino group. So, it is sometimes called as N terminal residue or N terminal. And on the right side there is carboxyl group. That end of the polypeptide chain is called as C terminal. C stands for carboxyl group. So, N terminal and C terminal. One side there is amino group, other side there is carboxyl group. So, now we shall see another, the same polypeptide chain can be given in this way also. This is also polypeptide chain. These are the peptide linkages shown here. There are large number of peptide linkages, that is amide bridges. So, that is how we can understand the again structure of the polypeptides and protein molecules.